NBC in grade 8 tournaments and organizations nationwide.
Good evening and welcome to X Stadium on the campus of Wichita State University in Wichita, Kansas, where tonight the 90th NBC World Series powered by Evergy resumes with the final night and the final game of pool play in this 90th NBC World Series. And tonight's game has the Boulder Collegians taking on the Liberal BJs. Hello, everybody. My name is Steve Strain, and welcome in to a Tuesday night of baseball as the fourth and final game today, again, is the final game of pool play. And a lot at stake for these two teams because Boulder is winless so far through their first two games of pool play. However, if Boulder is able to come away with a win tonight, they would be 1-2, and Liberal would be 1-2. Boulder would then get the tiebreaker because of head-to-head competition. They would move on to pool play. On the flip side, of course, it's pretty obvious if Liberal wins this contest tonight, the BJs will move on and Boulder will head back to their respective homes, most of them in Colorado. The umpires for tonight's game: Courtney Lawrence is behind the plate, Mike Lentz is at first base, Clint Wheeler is the third base umpire. So those are your men in blue. Let's run down the starting lineups for tonight's game now. Boulder is the visiting team. They'll bat first, and their lineup looks like this. Lavoisier Fisher leads off. He'll be in right field. Batting second, Hunter Hirayama. Hirayama is at shortstop. Batting third, Diego Castellanos. Castellanos is in center field. Alec Ackerman hits cleanup, and Ackerman is in second base. Adam Paniagua bats fifth. Paniagua is the designated hitter. Batting sixth, Isaac Sobieschek. Sobieschek is the third baseman. Derek Woodwine bats seventh, and he's at first base. Batting eighth, Brett Williams. Williams is behind the plate. And batting ninth, Shane Croft. Croft is in left field. Again, the lineup for Boulder: Fisher, Hirayama, Castellanos, Ackerman, Paniagua, Sobieschek, Woodwine, Williams, and Croft, with Brady Hall, the pitcher for the Boulder Collegians. Now the starting lineup for Liberal. Kaiser Harrington leads off. He'll be at third base, and he'll be followed by Ben Merriman, the center fielder. Miller Durham bats third. He's at first base. Robert Orr hits cleanup, and he's the shortstop. Julius Ramirez hits fifth, and Ramirez is the designated hitter. Batting sixth, Isaiah Velasco, and he's the catcher. Joel Roberts bats seventh. Roberts is in right field. Batting eighth, Lane Snow. Snow is in left field. And batting ninth, Cesar Gomez. Gomez is the second baseman. Again, the lineup for Liberal: Harrington, Merriman, Durham, Orr, Ramirez, Velasco, Roberts, Snow, and Gomez, with Fidel Hatch getting the start for the Liberal BJs. Again, whoever wins this one moves on to elimination play, which starts tomorrow. The two teams would each have 1-2 records if Boulder wins, but they would obviously capture the head-to-head tiebreaker and advance to elimination play, which again starts on Wednesday. All right, we're ready to go. So Lavoisier Fisher about to step in on what's a gorgeous night for baseball here on this Tuesday night. Temperature at 92 degrees at the start of the game. And there is a light breeze of about 13 miles an hour blowing out of the south towards left field. So Fisher is in from the left side of the plate. And Fidel Hatch will work from the stretch, and the first pitch is swung on and a broken bat, base hit into left field at 9:05 Central Time. We get going, and a broken bat by Fisher, and he'll make his way to first base. And as you take another look at it, it's a good job by Fisher of going the other way, and all he was left with was the handle. So one pitch into the game, and we've got a base runner at first base. And now here's Hunter Hirayama, the shortstop for Boulder. Boulder lost to San Diego on Saturday by the score of 7-5. The San Diego Stars. Then they lost to Derby 8-3 on Sunday. There goes the runner, and the pitch squirts into center field, and that'll be a stolen base for Fisher. And boy, is he aggressive tonight in the early going. First pitch swinging, and then on the first pitch as a base runner, he steals second base. So 2 pitches into the game, and Fisher is already singled and stolen a base. 1 ball and no strikes to Hunter Hirayama. From the stretch goes Hatch, and the pitch is home. And at 86 miles an hour, it misses. 2 balls and no strikes to Hirayama. Liberal had a wild game on Sunday, if you haven't heard. The 2-0 popped straight behind the plate, just in front of us. And the count is 2-1. The BJs knocked off San Diego by the score of 11-7 in a game where they trailed 6-0 after 3 innings, and they outscored San Diego 11-1 after that. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Hirayama, who's bunting here, and this one's up the first baseline, but it's going to spin foul, and that'll even the count at 2-2. That one had a lot of spin on it, which is going to be magnified on this all artificial surface here at X Stadium. Even the brown part of the baselines you see there is not dirt, but that's artificial surface colored brown, and so that one bit like a 9-iron from 115 yards away and spun into foul ground. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There goes the runner to third, and the pitch swung on and a bouncing ball over to the right side. The first baseman, Miller Durham, will field, and he'll toss to Hatch, covering for a 3-1 putout over at first base. But once again, Fisher being very aggressive. That worked like a bunt. He'll advance to third for the first out of the inning. The defense for Liberal, Miller Durham at first base. Cesar Gomez is at second. Robert Orrs, the shortstop. Kaiser Harrington is over at third. And the outfield from left to right, Lane Snow, Ben Merriman, and Joel Roberts. Isaiah Velasco is behind the plate, catching the balls and strikes of righty Fidel Hatch. And Hatch delivers here to Diego Castellanos, who sends one the other way, and it slices foul. It lands in the field of play, but in foul territory. 0-1 to Castellanos. Fidel Hatch pitching collegiately in the state of Kansas at Washburn University. He appeared in 18 games this past season. 17 of them were in relief. 0-1 in the pitch. And that one gets away from Velasco behind the plate, but not advancing is Fisher. .32 2/3 innings this past season at Washburn for Hatch. He finished the season with a 6.89 earned run average. His record was 2-3. He struck out 25. Bouncer foul over toward the third base coach's box. And the count is 0-2. Kent Gregory coaches at first base for Boulder. That's Brandon Wakefield, who fielded that bouncing ball. He's over at third. One hopper back to Hatch, and a nice play now. They've got the runner a dead duck in between third and home, and now they've got Fisher in a rundown, and the catcher Velasco is going to tag him out. And down to second base goes Castellanos alertly, but credit Fidel Hatch with making that one happen. a hot shot, one hopper right back to him. And Fisher again very aggressive. It paid off from first to second and second to third, but that came back to bite him right there as he was caught in no man's land and retired in a rundown. The best thing Fisher did was stay alive long enough in the rundown to get Castellanos down to second base. So 2 outs now for Alec Ackerman, the second baseman. Ackerman out of Parker, Colorado, attending Bellevue College, and the count's 1 ball and no strikes to him. Through this stretch goes Hatch. Nobody holding the runner on at second, and the pitch pretty well struck to center field, but drifting over to his left has been Merriman, and he'll make an easy catch for the third out of the inning. So the inning started off with a single and a stolen base quickly, but Boulder puts up a 0 after half an inning. Boulder nothing, and Liberal coming up at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
Whether you're preparing a perfect meal, getting people back on the road, protecting online privacy, or supporting your patient's health, you want to be the best professional in your field. At Butler Community College, our focus is getting you the highly specialized and versatile training needed to start your career in as little as a year. Our classroom experiences are fine-tuned by industry professionals. You'll launch into the workforce with the confidence and skills to make you stand out from the rest. Butler Community College. Real college. Really affordable.
Right-hander Brady Hall going through some warm-up tosses for the Boulder Collegians as Hall watched his offense go scoreless in the top half of the first inning, and now Hall will try to do the same for his Boulder team. Brady Hall is 6'2" and 185 pounds out of Fort Collins, Colorado, the home of Colorado State University. He is collegiately attending Pima Community College. But no numbers on him that we could find. So here we go. Bottom of the first inning. Kaiser Harrington, the third baseman, will step in to lead it off for the Liberal BJs, trying to move to 2-1 in this tournament and move on to the elimination round. And the first pitch to Harrington, 88 miles an hour. A fastball just misses. 1 ball and no strikes. The pitch swung on and a bouncing ball to short. Charging in is Huriyama, and the throw to first dug out well over at first base by Derek Wilborn. And that's our Woolwine, excuse me, and that's a nice play by Woolwine over at first base. Huriyama charged in quickly and had to throw in a hurry because Harrington runs with good speed, but he also relied on Woolwine to dig it out, stretching to his right, and he did. 1 out now up to Ben Merriman, the center fielder. And Merriman takes one high and away at 86 miles an hour, 1 ball and no strikes. Took a little bit off at 84, but upstairs, and the count is now 2 balls and no strikes. At 87, that one squirts away from Brett Williams behind the plate. And the count is now 3-0 as Hall has fallen behind now on 3 straight pitches. There's a strike to move the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Ben Merriman from Austin, Texas, playing his college baseball this season at Texas State. And he sends one over to the left side, deep in the hole at short. Hirayama makes the play, but he will not have a throw. And that'll be an infield base hit for Ben Merriman, who's on at first base. So a pair of ground balls to short, one of them right at Hirayama. This one by Merriman was underneath the glove of Sobieschek at third, and then Hirayama was there backing him up, and even had he come up with the ball cleanly, probably not enough time to throw out Merriman, who runs with good speed. So Miller Durham is up there now with one out and a runner at first base. Merriman's a center fielder, so he also, one would think, has some pretty good wheels. A ball and no strikes, the count to Durham. This one fouled straight back, and the count's 1 ball and 1 strike. Liberal lost to Derby Saturday 9-6. They followed that up with that wild game I mentioned earlier on Sunday, 11-7. It was a 7-6 game until the top of the 9th inning. The BJs scored 4 times. 2 balls and a strike. It was 7-7 after 8, and then Liberal scored 4 times. They led 7-6 going into the bottom of the 8th. Just a wild back and forth game that was. High and tight. There's ball 3, and the count's now 3-1. Of course, the big highlight of that game actually was as much what happened behind the pitcher's mound when there was no ball in play, if you haven't heard. The 3-1 ripped into right field. That's down. That's going to be a base hit. Rounding second and heading to third is Merriman. A wide turn at first now for Durham, and he'll hold there with a single that puts runners at the corners. This Liberal team early on getting some very good cuts on Brady Hall so far. Harrington's bouncing ball to short was an out, but he struck that one pretty well. There was a ground ball to deep short on an infield hit, and that one was the best struck ball of all by Miller Durham. A line drive single to right center field. So runners at the corners, 1 away for Robert Orr. So Orr steps in from the right side, while the infield for Boulder looks for a double play. And something taken off there. Outside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes to Orr. Another bouncing ball to the left side, deflected off the glove of Sobieschek, and now a throw to first is late. Holding at third base is Merriman. And Merriman is now looking at his third base coach, and those two are discussing things there. Probably discussing the fact that he could have gone home if he wanted to and scored, but played it conservative. And so he's still at third base, but you've got the number 5 hitter in the order up there and only 1 out. And now that decision's going to pay off. This one is sent deep to the gap. Right center field under the 375 sign. It's going to clear them all on a bases loaded double for Julius Ramirez. It scores 3, and the BJs have grabbed a 3-0 lead. Well, I mentioned that the BJs were getting some pretty good cuts on Brady Hall, and that was the best one of all, as that one was to the gap, and on this turf it scooted quickly all the way out to the power alley underneath the 375 sign it was, and everybody scoring. Even with 1 out, they weren't necessarily running on contact, but it was placed in the right spot for everybody to come around and score. So Liberal has drawn first blood, and they've scored 3 times. And the first pitch to Isaiah Velasco is taken high and away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Four straight base hits for the BJs. That one is in for a strike, 1-1. Kaiser Harrington led off the inning, grounding out to short on a ball that was pretty well struck, and then the next 4 have been as well. All for base hits. 1-1. This one is sent deep to left field. Shane Croft is going back toward the warning track, and he'll reach up and make the catch. And a nice catch by him. The runner at second will hold. And that's the second out of the inning, but even the 2 outs recorded by this Liberal team have been pretty well struck, especially that one. A long fly ball by Velasco the other way for the second out of the inning. So now it's up to the right fielder, Joel Roberts. 3-0 Liberal with the early lead. And Roberts takes on the outside edge at 74, a changeup, 0-1 to him. Just to finish that story about Sunday's game for Liberal, their relief pitcher, Rylan Figueroa, got sick on the mound after striking out the first 2 batters he faced in relief in the 6th inning. Stayed in the game and ended up being the winning pitcher. The inning will end for Liberal here on a ground ball to short. Hirayama has 2 assists in the half inning, but Liberal scores 3 times in the inning, thanks in large part to Julius Ramirez. A 3 RBI blast to the gap in right center field. That one, as they say, cleared them all. 3-0 BJs at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy. Back for inning number 2 in a moment.
Together, we improve it because we're committed to spending.
At Davis Moore, we make sure there's something for everyone at each of our locations. We stock vehicles spanning almost every make and model. We're confident you will find exactly what you're looking for. Every vehicle on our lot has passed our 171-point inspection to ensure safety and reliability. Customer service is our top priority, and our friendly and expert staff will guide you through the process every step of the way. Come shop Wichita's best selection of used cars at any one of our locations, or check us out online at davis-moore.com.
Giving him a 3-run advantage now. 3-0 Liberal with the lead as we're ready for inning number 2. And Adam Paniagua, the designated hitter, will get things started for the BJs here in the inning. So 3 runs and 4 hits to start it off for Liberal. And Boulder has now spotted them 3. We'll see how the Collegians are able to respond here in the top half of inning number 2.
Hitter number 22, Adam Paniagua.
So here's Paniagua stepping in from the right side of the plate. Out of Phoenix, Arizona, attending Regis College, and he sends the first one back and out of play, 0-1 to him. 3 undefeated teams in pool play through 3 games for the other teams that have wrapped up pool play. This one is sliced down the right side. Charging in is the right fielder, Roberts. And the first baseman, Durham, is going back into foul ground, and he makes the catch. Roberts was coming in. He had the best angle, but couldn't get there in time. But a nice play by Durham, first base, to make the catch. And 1 away. We haven't set the defense yet for you for Liberal. Miller Durham is at first base. Cesar Gomez is at short. Robert Orr is at short. Cesar Gomez is at second. Kaiser Harrington at third. The outfield from left to right, Lane Snow, Ben Merriman, and Joel Roberts. Nonetheless, in Pool A, Seattle has gone 3-0 in pool play. Santa Barbara, no surprise, they're 3-0, and the Hayes Larks also unbeaten at 3-0. High and tight to Isaac Sobieschek. So those 3 teams obviously advancing to elimination play, which starts tomorrow. 2-0. And the pitch in there for a strike. And it's 2-1. This tournament has 4 pools, A, B, C, and D, consisting of 4 teams. The top 3 teams out of each pool advance to elimination play. Bouncer to short. Nicely done by Robert Orr, charging in, playing the short hop. And a 6-3 put out 2 away. And as I mentioned earlier, in the case of these two teams, Liberal is 1-1 and Boulder is 0-2. But if Boulder wins this game, both teams will be 1-2, but Boulder would then advance because of the head-to-head tiebreaker they would have over Liberal. So a good start for the BJs to try and fight off this Boulder team with 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Derek Woodwine is the batter, 1-0 the count to him, and he takes a fastball at 88 to even things up now at 1 apiece. Woodwine is out of Boulder, attending Northeast Community College. And he chops one foul at the plate. The count's 1 ball and 2 strikes. I mentioned some of the work of Fidel Hatch last season at Washburn. Here in Kansas, 6.89 earned run average in 32 2/3 innings. His record was 2-3, and he struck out 25. He had 2 saves on the season, which actually was tied for a team high. Yanked foul outside the bag at first. 1-2 still. Hatch actually started his college career at McPherson College, which is just up the road from Wichita. And he delivers a beautiful strike right there, and Woolwine is caught looking. He froze him with an off-speed pitch, and Woolwine could only watch it cross the zone. So a changeup on the corner ends the inning. 1-2-3 goes Boulder in the top of the second after 1.5. Liberal 3, Boulder nothing at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
I'm bougie. I'm like $7 bougie.
The all-new $7 deal lovers menu at Pizza Hut. Choose your $7 faves 7 days a week.
Because it's only a deal if you love it.
No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Select Physical Therapy are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at Select Physical Therapy.
Bottom of the second inning from Wichita, and the score is 3-0. Liberal on top of the Boulder Collegians. And for the BJs, it's left fielder Lane Snow that will get the inning started. And Snow was one of 2 BJs to have 6 official at-bats in the game on Sunday when they scored 11 times and pounded out 17 hits. Yeah, the home run swing right there on the pitch by Brady Hall and sent it straight back to the screen, 0-1. Snow was 2 for 6 on Sunday with a run batted in as well. One of his 2 hits was a double. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Snow. He's 2 for 9 in the tournament. He was 0 for 3 on Saturday when Liberal lost to Derby 9-6. 2 balls and a strike to Snow. From Burleson, Texas, just south of Fort Worth. 2-1. Ripped. And that's a fair ball. Just inside the line and heading down toward the corner. Snow on his horse, rounding first. He'll slide into second head first with the leadoff double. Well, he really muscled that one down the line. It hooked and bounced on a couple of hops before hitting the wall, and there was no question Snow was going to motor on into second. And dove head first. Got there easily ahead of the tag, and that's the second extra base hit already for Liberal. And their singles have been hard hit, and Brady Hall is just not fooling this Liberal team so far. Here's the number 9 hitter in the order, Cesar Gomez, and he's going to hit one to the right side, fielded by Ackerman, and he'll throw to first base in time for a 4-3 put out, one away. Snow danced around at second base, but opted to hold. So a runner at second, one out. We'll head back to the top of the order with Kaiser Harrington. Perhaps that was part of the thinking of Snow, was you got the top of the order coming up, so you don't necessarily need to risk advancing to third or getting thrown out when you've got your most consistent hitters coming up next. Harrington 0 for 1. He grounded out to short in the bottom of the first inning. That was a hard-hit bouncing ball, and as I've mentioned before, even their batted balls that have been outs have been pretty well struck, and his was too. A ball and 2 strikes, the count to Harrington. Harrington from Midlothian, Texas, not too far from Burleson, where the previous hitter is from. Playing collegiately at Texas Arlington. This one sliced out of play over on the right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. These two teams have benefited from the weather. The NBC actually has altered the schedule the last couple of days for the earlier games because of the extreme heat, triple-digit heat we've seen here in Wichita, but not tonight. Very comfortable, 91 degrees. Strike 3 is called on Harrington, and he's going to go down as a strikeout victim and out number 2 here in the bottom of the second inning. So here's Ben Merriman now, the center fielder. Good stop by Brett Williams behind the plate. Derek Woolwine is at first base for Boulder. Alec Ackerman is at second. Hunter Hirayama is at short. Isaac Sobieschek is at third. Shane Croft in left. Diego Castellanos, the center fielder. Lavoisier Fisher is in right. Again, Brett Williams is the catcher, and he just had a conversation with his pitcher, Brady Hall, and that rounds out the defense for Boulder. First inning was so busy for Liberal, didn't have time to go over the Boulder defensive alignment. A ball and no strikes, and the pitch swung on and straight back to the screen. And it's a ball and a strike to Ben Merriman. Merriman started a string of 4 straight hitters to hit safely for Liberal in the last inning. 3 of them were singles, and then Julius Ramirez brought them all around with a 3 RBI double. Slider outside, and the count's now 2 balls and a strike. Hall checks the runner at second, fires a fastball at 87, but it missed away. And he's behind in the count here now, 3 balls and 1 strike. This is the dangerous part of the order for Liberal too, and the part of the order that really did the most damage in the first inning. This one is fouled over toward the first base dugout. It's going to stay in the field of play, and a nice job by Brett Williams as he makes the catch there to retire the side. That one looked like it was headed out, and there's not any wind, but probably more than anything, the spin on the ball brought it back, and Williams makes the catch. So Liberal strands one at second after a leadoff double by Lane Snow. He advances no further. After 2, Liberal 3, Boulder nothing at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
The Taco Bell Cravings Value Menu. 10 choices, each just $3 or less. Starring the cheesy double beef burrito. Double the seasoned beef, all the cheesiness, and so much craveable flavor. Get it on the Cravings Value Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Sometimes I wish I could go back just to take a class just because I love the environment. I love the family. I love the networking that you get when you're involved with Butler. I can still pick up the phone. I have those teachers in my phone number today. So if I had a question on something coming up, I can call any one of the teachers that I've had at Butler and they would answer.
On to the third inning we go. 3-0 the score. Liberal with the lead. A 3-run first inning for the BJs. Set the tone early. 3 runs on 4 hits for Liberal. They picked up a double to start the second inning, and you thought maybe it was going to be more of the same, but then a nice job by Brady Hall retiring the next 3 in order, and so now Liberal out for some defense, and Brett Williams, the catcher for Boulder, is the first batter that Fidel Hatch will face here in the top of the third inning. So Hatch will again work from the stretch and fire home at 87 miles an hour, a strike nothing and 1. Brett Williams made that nice play as the catcher to end the bottom half of the last inning on a ball that really sliced back into the field of play as he swings and misses here, and it's 1-2. Again, it looked like the ball was going to head just over the netting, but then without any help from much of a breeze, it tailed back into the field of play, and he made a nice catch. Not happy here, though, because Williams just missed 2 pitches swinging and missing in similar locations, and he's a strikeout victim to start the top of the third inning. So 1 out now for Shane Croft, the left fielder. That's 2 strikeouts for Fidel Hatch. And they've come back to back. He struck out Derek Woolwine to end the second inning, and he strikes out Brett Williams to start the third. Now Shane Croft is in and ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Big swing and a miss by Croft, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Liberal used 3 relief pitchers in their win on Sunday. They used 4 relief pitchers in their loss on Saturday. Two balls and a strike now, the count to Shane Croft. Boulder has used 6 relief pitchers. They've used 3 in each of their 2 games so far. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. I mention that because that can be such a big part of this tournament, especially when you get to a game like this where one team will be eliminated. You're hoping to have as much pitching depth as possible if the game is close and on the line. Right now, by far, the better pitching is coming from Liberal. Fidel Hatch has struck out his 3rd in a row. He faced 6 batters without striking out any, and the last 3 in a row now have struck out, 2 of them swinging. And back to the top of the order now with Lavoisier Fisher. Fisher swung at the very first pitch of the game and had a broken bat single to left field. And then on the very next pitch, he stole second base. He ended up stranded at third when the inning came to a close. If there's an all-name team in the NBC World Series, he would be right there on the first team for sure. Lavoisier Fisher. 1-1. And that one at 84 miles an hour, just inside. 2 balls and a strike. From Suwanee, Georgia, and attending Albany State. Or he did attend Albany State, I beg your pardon. He was graduated from there. He takes a strike, and the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, 2 outs. Top of the third inning, 3-0 Liberal with the lead. The winner moves on to elimination play starting tomorrow, and the loser goes home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And not only does Hatch strike out the side swinging, he struck out 4 in a row. Boy, has he gotten into a nice groove. After 2.5, 3-0 BJs at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
United in our commitment to prevent drunk driving, crashes, and fatalities.
At Evergy, we're focused not just on what we power, but on who we power, right here in our community. We provide payment assistance to our neighbors who need it. Invest in organizations and people, creating opportunity for all to benefit. And volunteer our time around our hometown so that together we improve it, because we're committed to spreading good energy throughout our community. Evergy, the utility company.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Select Physical Therapy are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at Select Physical Therapy.
First baseman number 32, Miller Durham.
Miller Durham starts the bottom of the third inning, and he first pitch swings and sends a high fly ball into shallow left field. Shane Croft charging in, and he makes the catch, and a very quick first out here in the bottom of the third. 1 pitch and one away, and that's what Brady Hall needed after laboring through the first inning, giving up 3 earned runs and some very hard hit balls, and also saw Lane Snow have a pretty well struck double to start the second. Since then, though, that's 4 in a row retired by Hall, and in that span of 4, he's picked up his first strikeout, so we'll see if he maybe is now settling in. He's fallen behind to the cleanup hitter Robert Orr here. 2 balls and no strikes. Chopped foul at the plate, 2-1. First action of the tournament for Brady Hall. Sometimes when you get to this point in the tournament already, you might have a pitcher that appeared over the weekend. That's not the case, as Orr grounds 1 to short. Charging in is Hirayama. He makes a nice play to fire to first, and a 6-3 putout. 2 quick outs for the BJs here in the bottom of the third inning. So Julius Ramirez will get set to step in now. Well, if you haven't heard, some very big news from the world of the NBC, as a player who was playing here literally just last night as a swing and a foul back to the screen by Ramirez, 0-1, was picked up by the New York Yankees today, and it was Brett Phillips, the starting pitcher for the GPS Legends, a team out of Texas. 0-1, a changeup outside. Phillips was released by the Chicago White Sox before the season in spring training. He's played for a number of teams, including the Royals and the Rays and the Angels. He's trying to resurrect his career as a pitcher. 1-1, way up high at 87 miles an hour. He's been working on his pitching, and the GPS team picked him up, and he showed up here last night and pitched the first inning, throwing as high as 97 miles an hour. This one is sent to right field and pretty well struck, but drifting back is Fisher, and he'll make the catch and retire the side, and the BJs go in order. And we'll talk more about Brett Phillips when we come back. No runs, no hits, nobody left after 3. BJs 3, Boulder nothing at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
Let's go.
And I am Hester in this very class.
Jay was drawing something up.
I really hope it's like this everywhere, but I also really believe that it's special to Butler. Like, I feel like once you come in, it's a culture. Like, they really want their students to succeed. For me, talking to somebody that has come from a position like me where they were out of the game for a long time, it can change your life. It changed my whole path. Like, I felt like at Butler, I found my people.
Fidel Hatch still trying to hold on to a 3-0 lead for the Liberal BJs as we're ready now for inning number 4. As all of the noise for Liberal came in the first inning when they scored 3 times on 4 hits, and all 4 hits were back-to-back to back-to-back. 3 singles and then a bases clearing double brought them all home. That was by Julius Ramirez. So Hatch will face the top of the order for Boulder, and that means Lavoisier Fisher will lead, or excuse me, Hunter Hirayama will lead the inning off, the number 2 hitter in the order. Hirayama grounded out to first back in the first inning. And he's going to send one to his counterpart at short here, and Robert Hall just simply boots it. That was a pretty routine play by Hall. And he couldn't come up with it cleanly, and safe at first base is Hirayama. Robert Orr is going to make some very nice plays on this artificial surface that are a lot more difficult than that. That was a pretty routine bouncing ball even on AstroTurf, and Orr didn't come up with it cleanly. Throw to first, and Hirayama was nearly thrown out. Mike Lentz is the first base umpire, and he said Hirayama's back in safely. So the first error of the game charged to the Liberal BJs. As a fastball by Hatch at 86 just missed outside, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to Diego Castellanos, the center fielder for Boulder. Left-handed hitter. Hatch, a good move and another throw to first. This one not quite as close as his previous offering over there. Boulder's lone hit of the night so far came from the very first hitter of the ball game, Lavoisier Fisher. The first pitch of the game sent a single to left field. They have gone hitless since, and they bat now in the top of the 4th inning. 2 balls and no strikes, the count to Castellanos. Fastball in there for his strike. That one at 82, and it's now 2-1. Castellanos grounded into a fielder's choice back in the first inning, an 0-for-1 start for him. Sends this one out of play on the left side, and it's now 2-2. I need to finish the story about Brett Phillips. So he starts the game last night, former major leaguer, released as an outfielder in spring training by the White Sox this season, wanted to resurrect his career as a starting pitcher. So he came here last night after starting for GPS, struck out the side as the throw goes over to first. All of them swinging. He hit as much as 97 miles an hour. And then the Yankees picked him up today to a minor league deal and he is on his way to pitch in their organization. And so the NBC World Series getting all kinds of national publicity in the sports world for being the place where Brett Phillips most recently got spotted playing baseball, and it was pitching of all things where he was really throwing some heat. And speaking of heat, a line drive base hit right back up the middle for Castellanos. Stopping at second base is Hirayama, and Castellanos is on at first. That's the second base hit of the game for Boulder, and they've got something cooking now. Runners at first and second. And now it's Alec Ackerman. Ackerman flew out to center back in the first inning. 0-for-1 start for him. He sends one to center field. Moving over into his left is Merriman, and he's going to drop the ball, and it's going to scoot for a while. This is going to be a trouble, and it's going to score a run. And here comes Castellanos into third, and down to second base goes Ackerman on what likely will be the second error of the inning, and it's going to score a run. And it's now a 3-1 ball game. Well, Ben Merriman showed a lot of speed to catch up with that one, but indeed it's going to be an E8 as that one looked like it just hit off the heel of his glove. And then on this turf, it scooted for a while, and easily scoring from second base was Hunter Hirayama. And down to third goes Castellanos on a two-base error by Ben Merriman in center field. So 3-1 the score. Now the tying run is in scoring position all of a sudden for Boulder, with Ackerman down at second base after the two-base error. So two miscues in the inning for Liberal, one at short and one at center. Adam Paniagua is the batter, the designated hitter, and he's seen two pitches, and the count is even to him, 1 ball and 1 strike. Infield playing back. They will surrender a run on a ground ball to get the out at first, as there's a swing and a miss, and it's now 1-2. Hatch looks at third, nobody holding the runners on, and the pitch is a fastball at 88 trying to dot the corner, and boy did the Liberal faithful think that he did right there, and that one just missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count. The pitch. Soft little flare into center field. That's down for a base hit. That'll make it a 1-run game as Castellanos scores. Ackerman is held up at third with still nobody out on the RBI single for Adam Paniagua, and it's now a 3-2 game. So now the second time through the order, it appears, these Boulder Collegians are starting to get a beat on Fidel Hatch. That and some help from the defense of Liberal as well. And 2 have scored here in the inning, and 2 are on for the Boulder Collegians. Ackerman stopped at third on that base hit. Adam Paniagua, an RBI single though, and it's now a 3-2 game. So 4 have reached safely for Boulder here in the inning. And now Isaac Sobieschek will step in. 0-for-1 on the night he is. A ground out to short back in the second inning. Hatch will stretch and pitch, and this one is well struck to right field. Roberts is on his horse. He's not going to get this one. It's going to roll all the way to the fence. Sobieschek is rounding second. He's not going to stop there. He's going to have a 2 RBI head first slide and a triple. and Boulder has taken the lead. It's 4-3. Well, the tides sure have turned here in the fourth inning. It was Liberal making all the solid contact early, and now Boulder has exploded the second time through the lineup here in the fourth inning, where they've scored 4 times. They've gotten some help from some shoddy defense by Liberal, but nonetheless, 4-3 Boulder, and now Derek Woolwine sends one foul and out of play. No balls and a strike, the count to Woolwine, who was caught looking to end the second inning. So an 0-for-1 start for him. Woolwine has gone 1-for-3 in each of the 2 games. So 2-for-6 when play started tonight, and with his second inning strikeout, 2-for-7 he is. Good stop by Velasco behind the plate on a pitch that was low, 2-1. So 5 straight have reached for Boulder here in the inning, but a couple of errors have helped. This one is lifted high between first and second. It's the second baseman who drops it. That's Gomez who can't come up with it cleanly. What is going on? You could make a very strong argument that all 3 of these errors for Liberal were very routine plays. Or it's short, booted a ground ball. Merriman in center had a long way to run, but he tracked down the ball in plenty of time. It just hit off the heel of his glove, and then that was the most routine, a fly ball. Woolwine didn't catch, or excuse me, Gomez didn't catch at second base. So Woolwine is on with the E4. 3 errors for Liberal here in the inning. Staying at third base, by the way, is Sobieschek. Now Brett Williams is up at the plate. And he takes a big swing and a miss. So Fidel Hatch in quite a pickle now. 4 runs have scored, but a lot of this through no fault of his own. A ball and a strike, the count to Brett Williams. That one just missed, and it's 2-1. Brett Williams from Carlsbad, California, plays his college ball at St. Mary's. Outside, 3-1. There's more than one St. Mary's college, but one of them very strong basketball program. I would presume that's the one he's attending in California. 5'11", 195 pounds. The catcher for Boulder trying to bring home at least the 5th run of the game for the Collegians. Instead, he'll take a high and outside pitch for a ball, and he's walked, and he'll head down to first base, and that loads him up now for the Collegians. Woodwine heads down to second on the walk to Williams, and Shane Croft, the number 9 hitter in the order for Boulder, will step up to the plate now as the 8th man to bat in the inning. Now time has been called, and Isaiah Velasco asked for it as he bailed out at the last moment. I think maybe some sweat dripped in his eye. He's got to wipe off his eyes from something, presumably some perspiration. There's certainly plenty of that going around. Now he's ready to go. Strike to Shane Croft, and boy, did Hatch badly need that. 0-1. It's my understanding another player got sick today earlier in the game. That's 3 since Saturday that have gotten sick here this week, and actually since Sunday during the game on the field. Ball and a strike, the count to Shane Croft, who struck out back in the 3rd inning. Well, you really thought that Fidel Hatch was finding his rhythm there in the 2nd and the 3rd. He struck out 4 in a row in those 2 innings. The only 4 strikeouts he's had all night came in that stretch of 4 hitters. But this 4th inning has really been rough on him. Three and 1. Bases are loaded, nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. Chance to do some real damage now for Boulder. The 3-1 pitch. Down and away, ball 4. Hatch has really lost it. Not to make excuses for Fidel Hatch, but sometimes you wonder when the defense behind you has the kind of inning they've had, if that can affect your psyche at least a little bit. 3 errors on some relatively routine plays have certainly hurt the cause of Liberal, and there's going to be a pitching change being made. We'll take the timeout as Boulder has scored 5 here in the inning, thanks in part to 3 errors. 5-3 Collegians at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
There's something happening in Wichita. Excitement, movement, a vibe. A city that offers amazing experiences delivered with heart. From arts to attractions, nightlife to sports, you feel the energy at every turn. A little fancy, a little funky, but always friendly. Come see the place we love. We think you'll love it too. Discover more at visitwichita.com.
Whether you're preparing a perfect meal, getting people back on the road, protecting online privacy, or supporting your patient's health, you want to be the best professional in your field. At Butler Community College, our focus is getting you the highly specialized and versatile training needed to start your career in as little as a year. Our classroom experiences are fine-tuned by industry professionals. You will launch into the workforce with the confidence and skills to make you stand out from the rest. Butler Community College. Real college. Really affordable.
Now pitching for Liberal, number 38, Odie. Odie down on the mound for the day.
All the Liberal BJs have gone to the bullpen now, trying to stop the bleeding in what's now a 5-3 Boulder lead. So the BJs really have their work cut out for them now with the bases loaded, nobody out. And there's a fly ball into shallow right field, and it actually is going to be caught by Joel Roberts. I say actually, and there's some mock applause from the crowd as well, because finally a Liberal player makes a play. And that was a fly ball caught, hit by Lavoisier Fisher for the first out of the inning. It took 8 straight to reach before an out was finally recorded. Fisher flying out to right field. So now here's Hunter Hirayama, who started it all off reaching on an error at shortstop. Bases are loaded now As the runner at third, Woolwine, did not try and tag on that fly ball to shallow right field. Hirayama takes for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Down and away, good stop by Isaac Velasco there. Woolwine at third, Williams at second, Shane Croft over at first. Two and one. Garrett O'Day is the pitcher for Liberal, by the way. Somebody who is not on the BJ's printed roster provided to us. O-D-E-Y. We presume that's O'Day. 2 balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander is ready with the bases loaded and 1 away. This one is fouled back, and it's going to be right near us. Just below us and off to the left. That was the case with Brett Phillips last night, the former major leaguer that pitched for GPS. He was not on the printed roster provided to the press, and so when we saw the name Brett Phillips show up as a starting pitcher, one just presumed it was a pretty common name and a coincidence, and plus he was a pitcher. Who would have thought? This is sent to center field. Coming on is going to be Merriman, and the shortstop is going out, and the shortstop Orr makes a nice basket catch, but it's going to score a run. As in from third to score is Woolwine on a sacrifice fly by Hirayama, and it's now 6-3. Boulder with the lead. So Hirayama will still get credit for the sacrifice, and the run batted in. As in from third to score was Woolwine, holding at first and second, Croft and Williams respectively. So 2 outs now, and Diego Castellanos will step in. And Castellanos takes down and away. It wasn't until you saw Brett Phillips last night throwing 94 and 97 mile-an-hour fastballs, and remembering him from his playing days in right field in the majors and remembering what a great arm he had, that you started to wonder if it was the same guy, and then started seeing him on camera and realizing this was him. I had a chance to talk with Brett after the game, and he said, yeah, it was released by the White Sox in spring training, and I'd like to try and stay in professional baseball, and I think I've got a shot as a pitcher. And lo and behold, he struck out the side, and the next day the Yankees have sent him to the minors. Ripped down the right field side. That's into the corner. That's going to be trouble. It's going to score 2, and Castellanos is down at second with a 2 RBI double, and it's 7-5 or 7-3. Boulder with the lead. I beg your pardon. Stopping at third was Croft, so it scores 1, but it's 7-3. 7 runs scored for Boulder here in the inning. That's an RBI double for Diego Castellanos. So now here's Alec Arkerman up from the right side of the plate with 2 in scoring position. And the pitch is up high for a ball, 1-0. Seven runs in the inning for Boulder. And there have been 3 Liberal errors, very costly errors as well. This inning could have been long over by now. Two balls and no strikes to Arkerman. And the pitch. Fastball in there, it's a strike. to short. This time Orr fields cleanly, throws to first in time, a 6-3 put out, and the side retired. But Boulder bats around and then some, and they score 7 times, but they also got some help from 3 Liberal errors. And now all of a sudden, after 3.5, it is Boulder 7, Liberal 3 at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
The Taco Bell Cravings Value Menu. 10 choices, each just $3 or less. Starring the cheesy double beef burrito. Double the seasoned beef, all the cheesiness, and so much craveable flavor. Get it on the Cravings Value Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Sometimes I wish I could go back just to take a class just because. I love the environment. I love the family. I love the networking that you get when you're involved with Butler. I can still pick up the phone. I have those teachers in my phone number today. So if I had a question on something coming up, I can call any one of the teachers that I've had at Butler and they would answer.
Well, Brady Hall's got to be feeling pretty good now, the pitcher for Boulder, after his team had been down 3-0 since the end of the first inning. All of a sudden, 3 innings later, he shows up on the mound and he's got a 4-run lead. It's 7-3. Boulder now with the lead. And we'll see if the Liberal BJs can get their bats going again. Isaiah Velasco, the catcher, will have the first crack. Velasco, Joel Roberts, and Lane Snow. 6, 7, and 8 for the BJs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Velasco takes a strike. It's 0-1. And that's just what you want to do if you're Brady Hall, is get the lead and get back up and start throwing strikes. Not like that. That was a hit batter. And down to first base is going to go Velasco. I think that one got him on the right arm somewhere, and he's going to just trot down to first base and shake it off. There's another look at it. Yeah, right on the bicep area, the back of the arm anyway. And so Velasco is on at first. Joel Roberts in now. 0 for 1 for Roberts. He grounded out to short back in the first inning. Brady Hall brought that one in at 83 miles an hour. High towering fly ball, shallow left field. And it's going to be the third baseman, Sobieschek, who calls and makes the catch, and one away. So 1 out now for Lane Snow, the left fielder.
Number 21, Lane Snow.
Let's go, Brady. Get your GP.
Up high for a ball, 1-0 to Snow. Snow led off the second inning with a double. And the BJs at the time were leading 3-0 and really hit Hall well in the first inning, and you thought maybe it had the makings for a rout the way Liberal was swinging the bat early, especially with Snow's leadoff double in the second. But boy, have the tides turned quickly since. 7-3, Boulder with the lead. Left side, this one's going to hook out of play. That's on top of the clubhouse over on the third base side. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Snow. Good cut at that one and sent it straight back. The count is now even. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. In this pool, already advancing Derby and the San Diego Stars. Ripped up the middle, that'll be down, that'll be a base hit. Castellanos plays it. Back to shortstop he throws. And that's a hard hit single for Lane Snow, who has 2 very well struck hits. In his first 2 at bats tonight, Velasco stops at second after the 1-out single by Snow. So number 9 hitter in the order, Cesar Gomez, will approach the plate. So Derby and San Diego finish pool play at 2-1 in Pool C, which is what these 2 teams are in. The third of the 4 teams that gets to go will be whoever wins this game. Gomez swings and misses at an 86-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-1. Liberal is 1-1 in the tournament so far. Boulder is 0-2. But if Boulder wins, they would be 1-2, as would Liberal, and Boulder would have the tiebreaker by virtue of winning the head-to-head battle here tonight. One and one. Runners at first and second, 1 away. Infield for Boulder looking and thinking double play as that one is in there. At 87, it's a strike at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gomez grounded to second in the second inning. An 0-for-1 start for him. Just missed away. Cesar Gomez from Keys, Oklahoma. Playing his college baseball here in Kansas at Barton Community College. Not too far from here. High and tight, that's a ball. So the counts run full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. BJ's will have Kaiser Harrington, the number 1 hitter in their lineup, up next. So a pretty big pitch right here with the BJ's trailing by 4. That one not close, ball 4, and they're loaded. So Brady Hall just walked the number 9 hitter in the lineup for Liberal. And that's going to get one of the coaches for Boulder out of the dugout, and it would appear this is Tony Rucco that's out because he's just called for a relief pitcher. So a timeout on the field as a pitching change is being made. Liberal is down by 4, but they've got the potential tying run coming to the plate because the bases are loaded with only 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 7-3 is our score, but things interesting in the bottom of the 4th at the 90th NBC World Series powered by Evergy.
And I have had a student in this very class.
Jay was drawing some love.
I really hope it's like this everywhere, but I also really believe that it's special to Butler. Like, I feel like once you come in, it's a culture. Like, they really want their students to succeed. For me, talking to somebody that has come from a position like me where they were out of the game for a long time, it can change your life. It changed my whole path. Like, I felt like at Butler, I found my people.
Right-hander Sam Kaufman is the new pitcher for the Boulder Collegians. He is 6'1", 200 pounds, out of Denver, Colorado, and pitching collegiately at Umpqua Community College. And he has been given the tall task now of facing the top of the lineup for Liberal with the bases loaded and only 1 out in the inning. Boulder is desperately trying to preserve their 4-run lead, or at least minimize the potential damage with runners on every base and only 1 out, and we'll see what Kaufman is able to do. The first batter that Kaufman will face is Kaiser Harrington, the leadoff hitter in the lineup for Liberal. And a fastball at 86 miles an hour, high and away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Another fastball, that one at 88, missed outside. Two balls, no strikes, the pitch, and tight 3-0. And boy, that's got to be frustrating for a coach to bring a relief pitcher in with the bases loaded. And can't find the strike zone. 11 appearances for Kaufman this past season at Umpqua Community College. And he just missed the outside edge for ball 4 and a 4-pitch walk to bring one home. So an RBI the easy way for Kaiser Harrington on the bases loaded walk. In from third is Velasco to score, and the other runners move up 90 feet. Down to third goes Snow, and down to second goes Gomez. Here's Ben Merriman now, the center fielder. A strike delivered to Merriman, no balls in his strike. Merriman off to a 1-for-2 start tonight. He singled and popped out to the catcher. And he sends one through on the right side. That'll be a base hit. Here comes Snow to score. Gomez being waved around, and he's going to try and score. And he will as the catcher dropped the ball. Williams had the tag and dropped the ball. And 2 runs will score. And it's now a 7-6 ball game. Well, a seeing eye base hit for Ben Merriman through on the right side. And Merriman actually also was able to hustle down to second base on the throw home. And boy, it looked like Gomez was dead to rights, but then Williams simply dropped the ball when he tried to place the tag down, and Gomez was safe at the plate. So 2 score, and again, 2 in scoring position now as Merriman hustled down to second on the throw home. It's 7-6. What a wild one we've got here tonight. And that one just hit Durham. And things have gone from bad to worse for Kaufman after just coming into the game. Sam Kaufman walked the first batter he faced, gave up a 2 RBI single, and hits the third batter. So they are loaded again for Liberal with just 1 out. And now it's Robert Orr, the shortstop for Liberal, that's up, and he is the cleanup hitter. So now the Boulder Collegians are looking at only 1 out with the bases loaded, and the cleanup hitter is up for Liberal. Really asking for trouble. Pitch outside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Orr singled and scored in the first inning, grounded out to short in the third. 8th man to bat for the BJs here in the inning. As Liberal trying to come from behind. A fastball at 87. Misses for a ball. 2-0. Boy, is Kaufman having all kinds of trouble finding the zone. There is some activity down in the Boulder bullpen, and they're going to need it in a hurry the way this is going so far for Kaufman. Up high, ball 4, and a bases loaded walk again. For the second time in 4 batters, Kaufman walks them with the bases loaded. So in comes Harrington from third to score, and it's 7-7, and That's going to get Tony Rucco out of the dugout in a hurry, and he's going to call for another relief pitcher here in the inning. So a pitching change being made again, a timeout on the field. We start all over at 7 apiece here in the bottom half of inning number 4 at the 90th NBC World Series powered by Evergy.
I'm bougie. I'm like $7 bougie.
The all-new $7 deal lovers menu at Pizza Hut. Choose your $7 faves 7 days a week.
Because it's only a deal if you love it.
No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Select Physical Therapy are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at Select Physical Therapy.
Third pitcher of the inning for the Boulder Collegians is C.J. Pino, who is 5'9" and 190-pounder out of Aurora, Colorado, he's out of San Francisco, California, and pitching collegiately at Adams State, which is in the state of Colorado. And boy, he's got a tough task in front of him, one that Sam Kaufman really couldn't do much with. The bases are loaded with one out, and it's been that way for a while. The second batter in the inning for Liberal was Joel Roberts, and he flew out to third. 6 straight have reached since then. There's been a hit batsman and a few walks along the way as well. So here's Ramirez now, the 9th man to bat in the order, trying to break a 7-all tie, and he takes a slow one at 68, and the change is 64, the change is in there for a strike, 0-1. Ramirez had a 3 RBI double in the first, and here he's gonna maybe do the same thing again. Fair ball, down the line, heading to the corner. Crow is up with it, and this time it'll be a 2-run double. It's 9-7 Liberal. As stopping at third is Orr, but the BJs have gone back in front on the 4th and 5th. Runs batted into the ninth for Julius Ramirez, who's 2 for 3 with 2 doubles and 5 runs batted in. Well, if there were 2 outs, perhaps the runner from first would have scored. That's Orr, but instead he stopped at third base. But still, what a night for Ramirez. And now here's Isaiah Velasco, who started it all off in the inning. Now 10 batters ago. Boy, we're going to have a football-type score at this rate before this one's over. We already do at 9-7, and this game is still 2 outs from being halfway over. Change-up swung on and missed by Velasco, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another change-up, chopped foul at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The shortstop for Boulder, Hunter Hirayama, is almost directly behind the bag at second base. They have shifted him way over. So there is a ton of room between the shortstop and the third baseman, Sobieschek, as this one is ripped foul. And that's the reason, though, because this Boulder team anticipating that Velasco will pull the ball, and he sure tried to right there. Another one chopped foul. 1 and 2. Velasco walked to start the inning off. He later scored in the inning, and now he's going to strike out swinging on another off-speed pitch. Boy, he was way out in front of all of them. Never really made the adjustment. Down he goes swinging for the second out of the inning. So 2 outs now for Joel Roberts, who flew out to third 10 batters ago to record the first out of the inning. Seems like it was about an hour ago. 9-7, Liberal with the lead. This pitch swung on, bouncing ball toward the middle, and it's booted it short by Hirayama, and everybody's safe. So it's 10-7 now, as coming home to score was Orr. And down to third base goes Ramirez. And that's going to be a base hit. So Roberts will get a base hit, his first of the night, a run batted in. Down to third base goes Ramirez. And scoring was Orr. 10-7 now. Liberal, you want to talk about some crooked numbers. A 3-run first and a 7-run fourth. There goes the runner trying to steal second, and he does. Safe at second base is Joel Roberts. So Roberts steals the bag, and now I talked about a football score earlier. We absolutely have a common one now. It's 10-7. Liberal with the lead. And again, this game is not even halfway over. We still have one more inning to be. Actually, we are just barely more than halfway through it. I beg your pardon. Swung on and missed. Actually, we're just in the fourth. My score sheet, I've had to bleed the fourth inning into the fifth for Liberal. So no, we're in the bottom of the fourth inning. We're not halfway over yet. We're still 4 outs away from being halfway through. The score sheet is already a disaster. Swing and a miss. And the count's now 2 balls and 2 strikes at the plate to Lane Snow. Snow's having a nice night. A double in the second inning and a single and an RBI earlier this inning. The 2-2. Hot shot over the third, fielded cleanly by Sobieschek. He'll throw low to first and a nice dig by Woolwine to retire the side, but not before Liberal scores 7 times. They bat around and then some. And now they've grabbed a 3-run lead as we go to the 5th. BJ's 10 and Boulder 7 at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
Sometimes I wish I could go back just to take a class just because I love the environment. I love the family. I love the networking that you get when you're involved with Butler. I can still pick up the phone. I have those teachers in my phone number today. So if I had a question on something coming up, I can call any one of the teachers that I've had at Butler and they would answer.
At Evergy, we're focused not just on what we power, but on who we power, right here in our community. We provide payment assistance to our neighbors who need it. Invest in organizations and people, creating opportunity for all to benefit. And volunteer our time around our hometown so that together we improve it. Because we're committed to spreading good energy throughout our community. Evergy, the utility company.
10-7, Liberal has forged back in front after a 7-inning bottom of the 4th inning. Each team scored 7 runs in the 4th inning, and there's a look at this pool, and you can see the significance here. Boulder is 0-2, Liberal is 1-1. So whoever wins this game will move on. Liberal actually has a chance to not only win this game, but possibly even be the number 1 seed if they can win this game by more than 5 runs. Because that would better Derby's margin of victory through the first 3 games, I should say. And so they would win via the tiebreaker. So Liberal can really make up some ground if they get a win and win convincingly. Adam Paniagua swings and fouls one out of play, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes to him. So at first the BJs were kind of thinking about they were even going to win it all, down 7-3, and things not looking good, but still with plenty of time left, and now we've got who knows what's going to happen. This is going to be a battle of the bullpens the rest of the way. Paniagua fouls one back and out of play, and it's 0-2. Nothing and 2 to Paniagua, and he sends this one to right field, and this one is well struck. Roberts is on his horse. Now he's going to get under it and make the catch for the first out of the inning. He had a long way to run and a lot of real estate to track, and he did, and makes a nice running catch, 1 away. Haven't gone over to the dimensions of this ballpark. 330 down the lines, 375 to the power alleys, 390 feet to straightaway center field here at X Stadium, the home of the Wichita State Shockers. So here's Isaac Sobieschek now. And he takes a strike, 0-1. Sobieschek, a 2 RBI triple in that 7-run fourth for Boulder. That one down and away. Sobieschek attending Bradley University. One and one, the pitch. Bradley in Peoria, Illinois. Wichita State, the home school here, used to be a member of the conference Bradley is in, the Missouri Valley. This one is ripped down the left field line. That's hooking, fair ball. Headed to the corner, Sobieschek rounding first on his way to second, and he will have back-to-back extra base hits in as many at bats. He follows up his 4th inning triple with a 5th inning double. And he's down at second base with 1 away. Well, he really got a good piece of that one. Ripped it down the line and on into the corner. So he's on at second. Derek Woolwine, the batter next. Woolwine reached on one of 3 costly Liberal errors back in the 4th inning his last time up. Takes down low for a ball. And on all 3 errors, they were pretty routine plays. Bouncing ball to short, mishandled. Fly ball to center that Ben Merriman couldn't squeeze in, and then a high fly ball that Cesar Gomez dropped at second base. And that was a fly ball that was just straight above him, a towering fly ball, and it just caromed off of his glove. 7 scored for Boulder the last inning. Part of one. Lifted to left center field, slicing over towards Snow, but it's going to be the center fielder, Merriman, that calls him off, and Merriman makes the catch. And 2 away. I thought for a moment the way that one was slicing back toward the left fielder that it was going to be Snow. He and Merriman got there at about the same time, but the center fielder, the rule is, for outfielders, the center fielder is the one that calls the shots, and when they're calling, the left or right fielder must give way, and a nice job that time by Snow of doing just that. And the flyout goes F8, which is to center field. 2 away now for Brett Williams. Williams has walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1. He sends this one to right. Right at Joel Roberts, who barely had to move. So a one-out double for Boulder. That's all they can muster in the top of the 5th inning. Now we are halfway home from Wichita. We've got a football score. It's Liberal on top of Boulder by a field goal, 10-7, at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
I really hope it's like this everywhere, but I also really believe that it's special to Butler. Like, I feel like once you come in, it's a culture. Like, they really want their students to succeed. For me, talking to somebody that has come from a position like me where they were out of the game for a long time, it can change your life. It changed my whole path. Like, I felt like at Butler, I found my people.
Attention fans, now pitching for Boulder, number 23, Levi Tucker. Center now on the mound.
To the bottom of the 5th inning from Wichita, and a new pitcher for the Boulder Collegians is Levi Tucker. And you want to see one of the more unique windups that you'll ever see from a pitcher. Levi Tucker has it. He is 6 feet 225 pounds out of Commerce City, Colorado. And look at this windup. He literally winds up the arm. It's not just the rest of the body, but he winds that right arm up 1-2 times and then goes through his motion. Boy, this is something unlike I've almost ever seen on the baseball diamond. So we'll see what Tucker is able to bring with that interesting delivery, to say the least. He will face Cesar Gomez here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And then back to the top of the Liberal order with Kaiser Harrington and Ben Merriman. So 9-1-2 for the BJs, leading by 3 as they are now about to face Levi Tucker. Tucker making his first appearance in the World Series this season. Again, Boulder has used plenty of relief pitchers in their first 2 games, but Tucker not one of them. Tucker is now working from the stretch, so what you saw from his warm-ups was from the windup. Maybe a little gamesmanship there, maybe being a little deceptive, but he's now pitching from the stretch and not going through the elaborate windup that we saw from him. At Holy Family University this past season, Tucker pitched in 28 innings. 34 earned runs in 28 innings. Not a good start as he issues a leadoff walk to the number 9 hitter in the Liberal order, and that's Cesar Gomez. And so that'll send it back to the top of the order with Kaiser Harrington with a runner at first base. And they say it's almost like automatic. You walk the leadoff hitter and it almost always comes back to bite you. And I think that is probably even more so the case when the leadoff batter is the number 9 hitter in the order. Then you're dealing with the leadoff hitter with nobody out. Not to mention 2, 3, and possibly number 4 in the order. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Harrington. He walked his last time up. Down and in, and the count's 2-1. 28 innings for Levi Tucker at Holy Family University this past season. I mentioned 34 earned runs. That's a 10.93 ERA. He was 0-4 with the record. No saves. Part of his problem was he walked 18 and only struck out 21, so not many more strikeouts than he had walks. And speaking of walks, a base on balls here. Down to second base goes Harrington. These Boulder pitchers in relief having all kinds of trouble finding the zone. Back-to-back walks here, and that's going to generate a conversation out on the pitching mound. In fact, that's going to do it for Levi Tucker. So we never got to see the elaborate windup during play, just during warm-ups, and Tucker faces 2 batters, issues 2 walks, and his night is done. Pitching change being made with the score, Liberal 10 and Boulder 7 in the bottom of the 5th inning at the 90th NBC World Series powered by Evergy.
There's something happening in Wichita. Excitement, movement, a vibe. A city that offers amazing experiences delivered with heart. From arts to attractions, nightlife to sports, you feel the energy at every turn. A little fancy, a little funky, but always friendly. Come see the place we love. We think you'll love it too. Discover more at visitwichita.com.
Whether you're preparing a perfect meal, getting people back on the road, protecting online privacy, or supporting your patient's health, you want to be the best professional in your field. At Butler Community College, our focus is getting you the highly specialized and versatile training needed to start your career in as little as a year. Our classroom experiences are fine-tuned by industry professionals. You'll launch into the workforce with the confidence and skills to make you stand out from the rest. Butler Community College. Real college. Really affordable.
Left-hander Nick Mazook is on in relief for the Boulder Collegians out of Parker, Colorado. Mazook will next be attending Colorado Springs, but he pitched most recently at Northeast Community College, where he had 8 appearances this past season and went 7 2/3 innings with a 12.9 ERA. 7 2/3 innings, he did strike out 8. So we'll see what he brings here as these relievers for Boulder having trouble finding the strike zone, and Mazook sort of picks up where the other relievers left off in missing the plate. 1 ball and no strikes to Ben Merriman, the center fielder. High and tight. And these pitchers for Boulder are not only missing the zone, many of them are not even close. Back-to-back walks to start the bottom of the 5th for Liberal. They lead by 3 with nobody out and 2 on. And that one missed outside. That one was a little closer, but Courtney Lawrence, the home plate umpire, says it was just a bit outside. 3-0, and one would think Merriman will be taking all the way right here. Inside part, it's a strike, 3-1. Mazook 6'1", 185 pounds. Behind in the count, 3-1. And here comes the pitch. Good cut, and this one was fouled back and out of play. The wind appears to have picked up some out of the south. When we started, it was just over 10 miles an hour, but if you check out the flag in right field, it's whipping at a pretty good rate. It looks like it's blowing about the way that it was when the wind was around 20 miles an hour over the weekend. Ground ball to third. This could be two. They go to second for one. The relay is not in time, though, so they'll erase the runner from first to second. That's Gomez, 5-4 on the fielder's choice. Down to third base goes Harrington, and safe on the fielder's choice is Merriman. So one away now for Miller-Durham. Temperature has dropped a few degrees since the start of the game. It's now under 90 degrees, and the wind right now is at 15 miles an hour. Slow roller back to the mound, but there's going to be a run scored because Mazook completely took his eye off the runner at third. Well, he did a great job of fielding his position off the mound, and I don't know if Mazook, maybe coming in out of the bullpen, didn't realize that there was only one out, but hustling in from third was Harrington, and Mazook just never even thought about looking that way. As you can see, he was focused on the play to first all the way, and Derek Woolwine, the first baseman, I think even said you didn't look home, and the runner scored. It's 11-7 Liberal. So Orr is going to get an RBI on the ground out, 1-3 for the second out of the inning. Down to second base goes Merriman, but in to score was Harrington. Julius Ramirez at the plate now, and what a night he's having. And he sends this one high to center field. Castellanos drifts over, now back and makes the catch for out number 3, but Liberal able to bring across another on the RBI ground out by Robert Orr, and it all started with 2 leadoff walks. We'll go to the 6th, 11-7 Liberal at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
I'm bougie. I'm like $7 bougie.
The all-new $7 deal lovers menu at Pizza Hut. Choose your $7 faves 7 days a week.
Because it's only a deal if you love it.
No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Select Physical Therapy are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at Select Physical Therapy.
On to the 6th inning now from X Stadium in Wichita. In the final game of pool play at this 90th NBC World Series, and the Liberal BJs and Boulder Collegians locked in a good one, especially considering the consequences for the winner and loser. The winner will move on to elimination play, but the loser will be done. So it's do or die here for these two teams going head-to-head to see who will remain alive, and right now it's advantage Liberal. They lead by 4, 11-7, but the way this game has gone, 4 runs is nothing. As we start the inning, it's going to be Shane Crow that leads things off for Boulder. He's the number 9 hitter in the order. Then back to the top with Fisher and Hirayama. Crow is 0 for 1. He has walked and he has struck out. Thanks to one of our YouTube watchers, a Boulder fan for sure, that let us know that the pronunciation is Crow. One thing we are not provided with is pronunciation guides for these players. It's kind of on our own to hustle around and get all these rosters and lineups and try to figure some of those things out. And like the case with Brett Phillips last night, some players aren't even on the printed roster that we're given, and then you really have to try and improvise on the fly. So we appreciate the feedback that it's Shane Crow. And he's down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Crow sends this one up the first baseline in foul territory, and Miller Durham chases it down and makes the catch one away. Garrett Odie still out there on the hill for Liberal, and speaking of players not on a roster, that's the case with him. He is not on the roster for the BJs. These teams can pick up players that didn't play for them during the regular season, and sometimes might even pick up a player during the tournament, I believe, and that can make it really challenging. And Odie is not listed on the roster for this Liberal team. So 1 out now as we go back to the top of the order with Lavoisier Fisher. Lifted, foul territory, but Harrington's got a beat on it and foul ground, and he makes the catch. And 2 quick outs. So a nice job here by Odie of perhaps restoring order. We haven't had many quiet innings here in the last several minutes. Last few innings. So 2 outs now, and here's Hunter Hirayama. And he sends one out into shallow right, and who's going to get it? The first baseman is, and that's Durham that's called for it. And how about that, a 1-2-3 inning? We haven't had one of those in quite a while. It's been the third since we had one. It's been the second inning since Boulder had a 1-2-3 half inning. But that just happened here, and after 5.5, Liberal 11, and Boulder 7 at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
The Taco Bell Cravings Value Menu. 10 choices, each just $3 or less. Starring the cheesy double beef burrito. Double the seasoned beef, all the cheesiness, and so much craveable flavor. Get it on the Cravings Value Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Sometimes I wish I could go back just to take a class just because. I love the environment. I love the family. I love the networking that you get when you're involved with Butler. I can still pick up the phone. I have those teachers in my phone number today. So if I had a question on something coming up, I can call any one of the teachers that I've had at Butler and they would answer.
Well, after a rare, quick top half of the 6th inning, now Liberal right back up here in the bottom half of inning number 6, trying to add to their 4-run lead. It's 11-7. The Liberal BJs on top of the Boulder Collegians. Liberal with 11 runs on just 9 hits. They've also committed 3 errors. Boulder with 7 runs and 6 hits. Each of these teams have scored more runs than they have hits. That's normally a rarity. So here we go. Isaiah Velasco, the catcher, leads off for Liberal. And he is hitless tonight. He did walk and score, though, in the 4th inning, when almost everybody did for Liberal. They scored 7 times in the 4th. Fouled at the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Velasco. One and one, and the pitch misses for a ball. It's 2-1. Nick Mazook working from the stretch. And he's fallen behind in the count now, 3 balls and a strike. So 3-1. And Mazook is ready. And here comes the pitch. And that one is fouled away, and the count's now full at 3-2. So the count full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. We'll see if a Boulder pitcher can avoid walking the leadoff batter. That's not happened much here in the last few innings, and it doesn't happen here. It's not avoided. A full count walk, and down to first base goes Velasco.
Batting the pitcher number 18, Isaiah Velasco.
2 out of the last 3 innings, the leadoff batter has been walked by Boulder pitchers. So at first base goes Ramirez, and Isaiah Velasco is in now. And the first pitch misses for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Mazook works from the stretch. And the pitch, and that one is up high, and it's now 2-0. Well, who has the pitching that can throw strikes? Liberal did in the top half of the inning, but all kinds of trouble for Boulder as Mazook continues to miss. It's now 3-0, and Boulder has already gone through a handful of pitchers, and you have to wonder at this point what they've got left. We talked about early on in this broadcast, this might boil down to who has the most bullpen depth, and it appears that it's not close. Liberal has that, as there is another walk on 4 straight pitches. Velasco down to first base, and down to second goes Ramirez. And that's going to get the coach out of the dugout again for the Boulder Collegians, and we'll see if there's another pitching change. It looks like there will be. To the bullpen again goes Boulder, so a timeout on the field. 11-7 the score. Liberal with the lead. Bottom of the 6th inning. Pitching change being made at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
Attention fans, now pitching for Boulder, number 7, Caden Calcayo. Calcayo down on the mound for Boulder.
Caden Calcayo, a right-hander out of Boulder, Colorado, is the new pitcher for the Boulder Collegians. Pitching collegiately at Embry-Riddle. He is 5'11", 165 pounds, and I think what's most important on the fans and teammates for Boulder is, can he throw strikes? Because so far, they've not had a lot of luck finding pitchers out of the bullpen the last few innings that can, and we'll see what Calcayo can do. He'll work from the stretch, and the infield for Boulder behind him will look for a double play. cheating in over at first base is the first baseman, Woolwine, as he's anticipating maybe a bunt. And the pitch is in there for a strike to Joel Roberts. It's 0-1 to Roberts, who had an RBI single his last time up in the 4th inning. He also stole a base, and he's 1 for 3. Nothing in 2. So there's a breath of fresh air for the Collegians. 2 quick strikes thrown by Calco here in the inning. On the pitch. That one down and away, and a very good stop by Brett Williams. And when you're ahead in the count 0-2, you can afford to throw something like that. See if you can get a hitter fishing at a bad pitch. So the count now 1-2 with 2 strikes. Woolwine over at first is playing back behind the runner again. Obviously no threat of a bunt. Instead, this one's going to be ripped into the gap in left center field. Castellanos is up with it, but not before. Rounding third is Ramirez. He'll come home and score. There's a throw down to third, but safe there is Velasco. And on that throw, Roberts goes into second base. So he's got an RBI single. And scoring on the play is Ramirez. Advancing to third is Velasco, and it's now a 12-7 Liberal lead. Well, to his credit, Calcayo didn't fall behind in the count, but you've just got to tip the cap to Roberts for a well-struck base hit. Now for Boulder, the infield will play in with 2 runners in scoring position, and Boulder trailing by 5 now, 12-7. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Lane Snow is the batter, and he sends one foul beyond the first base dugout, and it's 0-2. Snow's having a nice night out of the 8 hole for Liberal. He is 2 for 3. An RBI single in the 4th inning, a double in the 2nd. He's also grounded out to third. And he takes right there a fastball, and down he goes as he was caught looking. I think Snow felt like that one might have been outside. That is the first out of the inning. So 1 away now, and here is Cesar Gomez, the second baseman, taking a strike. Impressed with Caden Calcayo. Here's a guy that's come in and thrown some strikes, but still not out of harm's way with 2 in scoring position. That pitch is low. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch. Fouled back to the screen, and boy, did Gomez have a pretty good rip at that one. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Infield is playing about halfway with runners at second and third as the pitch is grounded foul over toward the first base dugout. They're not playing back at normal depth, but they're not playing all the way in either. A ball and 2 strikes with runners at second and third, 1 out. Liberal on top by 5, and another one fouled back. And this has turned into a really nice at bat for the number 9 hitter in the order, Cesar Gomez for Liberal. Continuing to foul pitches off. And he'll try to do it again. And the pitch. He did it again. Sent straight back to the screen again. So 1 ball and 2 strikes still. And we try it again. Calcayo through this stretch in the 1-2. Swung on and missed, and they'll have to throw to first to get the runner out. And that's 2 away. And boy, what a good job by Calcayo that time, because Gomez really battled and battled to stay alive, and finally Calcayo won the battle with the strikeout. And that's a big out, number 2. So back-to-back strikeouts now for Calcayo, and Liberal will head back to the top of the order now with Kaiser Harrington. And now the infield can retreat completely back to their normal depth with 2 outs. And a pitch down low to Harrington. It's 0-1 or 1-0. Speaking of walks, Kaiser Harrington has walked in each of his last 2 at-bats. He scored both times as well. It's one of the dangers of walking as time is called, 2 balls and no strikes. Dangers of scoring, the leadoff hitter in the order is they generally are players that have good speed, and he certainly does, and has made his way around the base paths twice. Two balls and no strikes. 12-7, Liberal with the lead. Calcayo stretches and delivers, and a fastball catches the edge at 87 miles an hour. Caden Calcayo started his college career at the Aeronautical University Daytona, and now he's at Embry-Riddle, which I believe is also another aeronautic school of higher learning. There's a strike, and the count's now even at 2-2. So deuce is wild now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 runners on. 12-7 Liberal. Here comes the 2-2 to Kaiser Harrington. Ripped into right field. Coming on, though, is Fisher. It'll make the catch as they had him scouted perfectly, and this side retired. So Liberal scores 1, but they strand 2 potential big ones in scoring position that can't come home. We will head to the 7th. BJ's 12, Boulder 7 at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
At Evergy, we're focused not just on what we power, but on who we power, right here in our community. We provide payment assistance to our neighbors who need it. Invest in organizations and people, creating opportunity for all to benefit. And volunteer our time around our hometown so that together we improve it, because we're committed to spreading good energy throughout our community. Evergy, the utility company.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Select Physical Therapy are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at Select Physical Therapy.
Six innings complete from Wichita now, 12-7 Liberal with the lead. BJ's with 12 runs on 10 hits. Boulder's Collegians with 7 runs on 6 hits. All 3 Liberal errors that you see there came in the same inning, and that was a disastrous 4th inning where not only did they commit 3 errors, but all 7 Boulder runs were scored in that inning. So you take away that 4th inning, and this is an absolute rout put on by Boulder and by Liberal. In fact, if it weren't for that fourth inning, this game would be over by the mercy rule because this Liberal team would have been up by more than 10, and there is a 10-run rule in effect after 5 innings. And those 3 errors certainly very instrumental in those 7 runs scoring for Boulder. There were some walks as well, but give Boulder credit. That helped them to fight and scratch and claw back into this game, and now they've got their work cut out for them again, down by 5. Drew Castellanos, the center fielder, will lead things off for the Collegians. And the first pitch he sees is way up high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Trevor Steele is the new pitcher for Liberal out of San Clemente, California, pitching at Orange Coast College. Right-hander who works from the stretch and throws up high, and now he's following suit with what some of the Boulder pitchers were doing and falling behind in the count, and that's going to draw a conversation with his catcher, Isaiah Velasco, as well. Elimination play starts tomorrow, and whichever of these 2 teams is victorious here will move on to the elimination round, and the other will be through. Right now, these 2 teams are the 3 and 4 seeds in the tournament in their respective pool, which is Pool B. Only the top 3 teams go. The 4th one goes home. Sliced to left field. That's down for a base hit. Drew Castellanos, a pretty swing there to send one the other way and into left field for a leadoff base hit. So the leadoff batter is aboard, and that will bring Alec Ackerman up to the plate. Ackerman having a nice night. He's got an RBI and a run scored. Been on base 3 times this evening. He's ahead in the count here, 1 ball and no strikes. Ackerman steps out momentarily, now steps back in and is ready. Steele always works from the stretch, so he naturally will now with the leadoff batter at first. And offers a fastball at 80 miles an hour that stays up high for a ball. This past season at Orange Coast College, Trevor Steele appeared in 4 games and had a 1-0 record. He only pitched, though, in 3 innings. He's behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. And that one is sent foul over on the right side. That's the nice thing about these collegiate summer leagues and the NBC World Series, is giving guys a chance to play that didn't get much action during the regular season. A 27 earned run average for Steele, but that's not really fair. That's not much of a sample size at all. 3 innings of work. Change up, and he really fooled Ackerman that time, and he went around. The count's even at 2-2. So the summer collegiate leagues give these guys a chance to work on their craft and improve and get ready for the next year. 2 balls and 2 strikes in the pitch. This one is foul. That looked like a slider that's going to head out of play, and the count's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. 12-7 our score. Liberal with the lead. They've got a 5-run lead here in the top of inning number 7. And again, all 7 runs for Boulder scored in the 4th inning. So 1 great big crooked number for them. And there is strike 3. Frozen at the plate is Ackerman. And a nice job that time by Trevor Steele to catch him looking, and there's the first out of the inning. So 1 out now for Adam Paniagua, the designated hitter. The infield for Liberal looks for a double play that would get them out of the inning. In the meantime, Trevor Steele just continues to throw strikes. It's 0-1. There goes the runner. The pitch inside and low, then it gets away from Velasco, and down to second base goes Castellanos on what should be a stolen base, and he's on at second base. A really good jump that time by Castellanos, and even though Velasco had trouble handling that one, Castellanos was well on his way anyway, and I think that Velasco got crossed up with Steele as to what that pitch was supposed to be. Bouncing ball through on the left side, that's a base hit. Stopping at third is Castellanos on a base hit for Adam Paniagua. And now Boulder's got something cooking. First time they've had that in a few innings. First and third with 1 out. So Isaac Sobieschek will head to the plate now with a chance to really help pull his team closer with first and third and 1 away. Sobieschek had some success in the 4th inning doing that with a 2-run triple. He also scored 1 of 7 runs for the Collegians that inning. And he has a good swing here, but fouls it off to our right, and it's 0-1. Sobieschek is not small, 6'3", 225 pounds. Right-handed hitter. Through this stretch goes Steele. Infield still playing back and looking for the double play. And this one bounces in, a slider that slid almost, it looked like, out of the hand of Steele. And it went about 55 feet and well off to the right of home plate as the catcher Velasco was trying to take it in. So 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 on and 1 out. And the pitch down low. The count's now 2-1. Steele stretches. Nobody holding the runner on at third. He's not really looking at first, and he misses again. And the count's now 3-1. And Trevor Steele had come in throwing strikes pretty consistently through the first couple of batters he faced. Then gave up the single to Paniagua, and now he's fallen behind here. 3 balls and a strike to Isaac Sobieschek, and the pitch is way high, not close at all. Velasco did all he could to keep that one from getting by. And a walk will load him up. So down to second goes Paniagua. And Sobieschek on with the walk to load him. For Derek Woolwine, the first baseman. And he is due tonight 0 for 3. He did reach on an error in the 4th inning and score, but he's flied out and lined out, and he is going to get a base hit here, and he's going to drive home at least a run. Looks like 2, as here comes Paniagua to score, following behind Castellanos for a 2 RBI single for Derek Woolwine, and we have a 3-run game. It's now 12-9. Well, on this artificial surface, even though Woolwine didn't get a good piece of that one, it was a high bouncing ball over the outstretched arm of Durham, and down into right field it went for Woolwine. I mentioned he was due, and he sure enough came through for his team, and he's put them within 3 now, 12-9. So that'll generate a conversation with one of the Derby coaches and the infielders. And that looks like it's going to be a conversation that will quickly be broken up, and everybody will retreat. Sobieschek stopped at third, by the way, on that single, so Boulder with now runners at the corners and still only one out in the inning, and it's Brett Williams, the catcher, that is in now. So Williams is up. He is hitless tonight, 0 for 2 with a walk. And he takes down and away for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Infield still playing back, looking for a double play, except Durham, the first baseman, is holding the runner on, who's got a very short lead. And the pitch, big swing and a miss. And the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike. Trevor Steele stretches. And Steele to the plate. Down and away, good stop by Velasco, scooting off to his right, keeping that one from getting away. 2 balls and a strike now. Steele at the belt, and here comes the pitch. Swung on and a bouncing ball to short. It could be 2. They'll go to second for 1. The throw to first is in time. A 6-4-3 double play. Boy, do the BJs need that after Boulder scores twice to cut it down to a 3-point deficit. But a huge play there as we stretch at X Stadium. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Liberal 12, Boulder 9 at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
There's something happening in Wichita. Excitement, movement, a vibe. A city that offers amazing experiences delivered with heart. From arts to attractions, nightlife to sports, you feel the energy at every turn. A little fancy, a little funky, but always friendly. Come see the place we love. We think you'll love it too. Discover more at visitwichita.com.
A lot of big numbers on the board tonight from Wichita. 12 runs on 10 hits for Liberal, 9 runs, 9 hits for the Boulder Collegians. And we are heading now to the bottom half of inning number 7 with Liberal on top by 3 and trying to add to their lead right here. A wild, wild one tonight from Wichita, where in the 4th inning 14 total runs were scored, and in fact each team scored 7 times. So that 4th inning more looked like a 4th quarter score, 7-7 for each team. And in the 90-year history of the NBC World Series, you have to wonder if there's ever been a single inning where each team scored 7 times.
Center field number 6, Ben Merriman.
So here we go now, on to the bottom of the 7th inning. Caden Calcayo is on for his 2nd inning of work for Boulder. And the first batter he'll face here in the bottom of the 7th inning is center fielder Ben Merriman. The first pitch to Merriman is down low and away. 1 ball and no strikes to him. Calcayo came on in the last inning, the bottom of the 6th inning, and gave up a single. It was a brought home a run, then struck out the next couple and also recorded a flyout. So after that base hit, he did a nice job with 3 outs straight recorded. Two balls and no strikes, the count to Merriman. And the pitch is a fastball in there at 85. It's 2-1. Our Boulder source on YouTube says that Caden is studying rocket engineering at Embry-Riddle. That was an aviation school, and rocket engineering takes a pretty smart guy to be able to work in that field, as this one is ripped up the middle. That's a base hit for Ben Merriman. So Merriman is aboard, representing the leadoff hitter for the BJs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And now Miller Durham. The top 4 for Liberal have really done a ton of damage. 8 of the 12 runs scored by the BJs have come from the top 4 in the lineup. Miller Durham has scored 2 of those runs. After singling in the first inning, he scored, and after getting hit by a pitch in the 4th inning, he also scored. Fouls that one into the glove of Brett Williams. 1 ball and 1 strike. Calcato looks over his left shoulder at first. Very short lead at first for Merriman. And a good swing by Durham sends it back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Miller Durham from San Diego, California, 6'2", 215, is attending Point Loma College. A ball and a strike. And the pitch swung on, and a bouncing ball over to third. Sobieschek throws it away, and it goes out into right field, and everybody will advance. And that'll be the first error of the ball game on Boulder. And boy, was that costly. They had their sights set on a 5-4-3 double play, and instead it goes into right field. That's going to be an error on Sobieschek, and everybody's safe. So it's a 2-base error on Sobieschek that sends Merriman to third and Durham down to second base. So now Robert Orr steps up with the infield in for Boulder. And the pitch to Orr is sent over the backstop behind the plate. 0-1. In the first inning, Orr singled and scored. In the 4th inning, he walked and scored. And he's going to lift this one over toward the first base coach's box and into foul territory. Woolwine is there, and he makes the catch. That is the first out of the inning. So 1 away now for Julius Ramirez. Ramirez walked and scored his last time up. Boy, you look up and down this lineup, and almost everybody you can say has walked and scored tonight. One ball and no strikes to Ramirez. In fact, there's only one player in the entire starting lineup for Liberal that hasn't scored a run at all, and that's Joel Roberts. Everybody else has scored, and several of them have walked and scored in the same inning as well. 2 balls and no strikes. And the pitch. Good swing, and that one back to the screen. It's 2 balls and a strike. Wind still blowing out of the south, out towards left field. About 15 miles an hour it is. Here comes the 2-1. And that one was at 84, and a late strike call. And that'll even things up now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Merriman gets his lead at third. It's fairly short, and here comes a 2-2 offering way inside for a ball. And the count's now full at 3-2. Outfield pretty much plays Ramirez straight away. Infield again is in with a count 3-2. And here comes the payoff pitch. Sent into center field. Over to his left is Castellanos. He'll make the catch. The runner will tag, and the throw heads down towards third. A sacrifice fly for Julius Ramirez. He's got 6 runs batted in tonight, and it's now 13-9, Liberal with the lead. Well, he hit it well enough to get Merriman home, and that was what he was trying to do. Liberal puts up another one to grab a 4-run lead now, and here's catcher Isaac Velasco. Staying at second, by the way, was Miller Durham. And Velasco takes one right down the middle for a strike at 87 miles an hour. 0-1. Good swing there, tipped into the glove by Velasco, and it's 0-2. Calcayo stretches. Nobody holding the runner on at second, and the pitch way outside for a ball. It's 1-2. That one at 86 miles an hour. Calcayo tried to see if he could get Velasco fishing for one out of the zone, ahead in the count 0-2, and to no avail. So now 1-2, and here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and down go the BJs. And they leave one at second base, but they also add to their lead. Liberal 13, Boulder 9, as we head to the 8th at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
We have fans with a plan. Let's get up. Every life is important. Let's be a right chair behind both plays.
There's something happening in Wichita. Excitement, movement, a vibe. A city that offers amazing experiences delivered with heart. From arts to attractions, nightlife to sports, you feel the energy at every turn. A little fancy, a little funky, but always friendly. Come see the place we love. We think you'll love it too. Discover more at visitwichita.com.
Whether you're preparing a perfect meal, getting people back on the road, protecting online privacy, or supporting your patient's health, you want to be the best professional in your field. At Butler Community College, our focus is getting you the highly specialized and versatile training needed to start your career in as little as a year. Our classroom experiences are fine-tuned by industry professionals. You will launch into the workforce with the confidence and skills to make you stand out from the rest. Butler Community College. Real college. Really affordable.
Well, we are 20 minutes away from midnight, and crowd still hanging around here, watching a high-scoring game. You know, through the first few games of this tournament back on Thursday and Friday, you saw plenty of low-scoring games that were good pitchers' duels, but as expected, you move deeper and deeper into this tournament. Fresh pitching gets thinner and thinner, and here we have a 22-run game where there have been 20 hits. We still have at least an inning and a half left. The final game of pool play at this 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy. And then elimination play starts tomorrow. So here we go, on to the 8th inning. And leading it off for Boulder will be Shane Crow, the left fielder. And Crow will take the first pitch from Cage Ralston, who is a sidearmer who delivered his strike in there, 0-1. He's from Elkhart, Kansas, and pitching collegiately at Butler Community College. and he just delivered another strike. Well, they saved somebody for toward the end that has come in dealing. Sidearm as he might be, Ralston has thrown 2 pitches and 2 strikes, and now the 0-2, and he took something off there, a changeup at 69, and absolutely froze Crow, and down he goes looking for the first out of the inning.
Right fielder number 20.
Well, that's just what Liberal wanted with a 4-run lead, top of the 8th inning. Somebody coming in and throwing strikes. Now we'll see how he fares against Lavoisier Fisher. And he delivers up high for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Lavoisier Fisher, one of the great names of this tournament. Every year you always have 1 or 2 that you just listen to and think that's a great baseball name. Lavoisier Fisher is certainly one of those. As he fouls the next pitch back, it's 2 balls and a strike. Two and 1. And the pitch, and that one misses for a ball, and it's now 3 balls and a strike. Last year there was a player in this tournament named River Jackson, and he had the name of the tournament I thought last year. Big swing and a miss, and the count's now full at 3-2. So the count's full, and now there is strike 3 as Fisher is caught looking as well. So not only is Ralston throwing strikes, but he is freezing hitters completely off guard, catching them looking. Crow to start the inning, and then the leadoff hitter Fisher, the same result. So 2 up, 2 down with a pair of strikeouts looking, and now with 2 outs, here's Hunter Hirayama. As now Boulder starting to run out of outs. They're down to their final 4 while they trail by 4, 13-9 here in the top of the 8th inning. Hirayama is hitless tonight. As he swings and misses, it's 1-1. He started that wild 4th inning for Boulder when he reached on an error by the shortstop Robert Orr. As the pitch is a changeup at 67, down low. It was a pretty routine, slow bouncing ball. Orr just juggled it. And Hirayama was safe at first inning, and the floodgates opened that inning for Boulder as Hirayama here sends one to center field. Back a couple of steps is Merriman, but an easy catch for out number 3, and an easy 1-2-3 for Cage Ralston in the top of the 8th inning. After 7.5, Liberal 13, Boulder 9 at the 90th NBC World Series, powered by Evergy.
At Evergy, we're focused not just on what we power, but on who we power, right here in our community. We provide payment assistance to our neighbors who need it. Invest in organizations and people, creating opportunity for all to benefit. And volunteer our time around our hometown so that together we improve it. Because we're committed to spreading good energy throughout our community. Evergy, the utility company.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Select Physical Therapy are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at Select Physical Therapy.
Well, a chance for the Liberal BJs to get some insurance in the bottom of the 8th inning, leading by 4 on a breezy night in south central Kansas. 13-9, Liberal with the lead as the BJs try to add to a 4-run lead, and they will face another new pitcher for Boulder here in the 8th inning as they attempt to do that. As the Boulder Collegians are going to send out a southpaw here to finish things off here in the contest, barring extra innings. Ethan Brown is the lefty out of Chandler, Arizona, 6'2", 205-pounder, and he will pitch collegiately at Seattle University. "13 runs, 11 hits for the BJs in those 3 fourth-inning errors. 9 runs on 9 hits for Boulder, and they've committed 1 error. So Ethan Brown comes on for his first opportunity. And Brown's first batter he will face, the score sheet turned the wrong way. Joel Roberts, the right fielder for Liberal, is the first man he'll face. And the first pitch from Brown is at 89 and pops the leather for a strike, 0-1. Ethan Brown pitched 15 1/3 innings at Seattle U this past season. He had an 0-0 record, did not factor in a decision, 7.04 the earned run average. And he walked 14 and struck out 14. He did not pitch in 2023. So eager he was to get a chance to get the 15 1/3 he got this past season. 0-2, he looks good so far here. And a fastball at 92, misses inside, it's 1-2. Well, that's the most heat we've seen tonight. 92 by lefty Ethan Brown. He works exclusively from the stretch and pitches high here, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2, and that one's low, and after starting off with 2 straight strikes, Brown has come back with 3 straight balls. I mentioned he did not appear at Seattle due to an injury in 2023. His junior year, Ethan Brown made 10 relief appearances, covering 7 2/3 innings. He also had 10 relief appearances in his sophomore season of 2021. With a 5.4 ERA and 6 2/3 innings that year. The 3-2 is swung on and fouled back and out of play. The count is still 3-2. So a full count, and Brown will battle again with Joel Roberts, and here comes the 3-2 pitch. And that one, strike 3 called, and Roberts was on his way to first base. But the home plate umpire, Courtney Lawrence, says, no, you're not. That's a strike 3, and down goes Roberts. So a good start for Brown. A strikeout looking, and now here's Lane Snow. Well, hand-eye coordination in the Ethan Brown family runs in the family. His mother, Cheryl, was a very good bowler. She bowled collegiately at Arizona State. So mom threw strikes as well, just in a different sport. Lane Snow ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. And that one low, and it's 2-0. Lane Snow's had a pretty nice night, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Second inning double, and in the 4th inning, an RBI single. He also came around to score that inning. 2-0. This one is driven high to left field and well foul and out of play. And the count will be 2-1 now. That went into the dark Wichita sky out near 21st Street. And the count is 2-1. Brown ready and delivers. And that one swung on, and it's strike 2, and the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brown kind of reminds you of Clayton Kershaw, who has that little hitch with his front foot. And watch Brown do the same thing with his front foot right there. And he almost looks like he's going to stumble, except it's intentional. He does it every time as a fly out behind the bag at second base. And Lane Snow is retired for the second out of the inning. The first time during warm-ups that I saw Lane Brown do that, I thought maybe it was accidental. But if you watch his wind-up in motion, he, the lefty, like Kershaw, does that every time with the front right foot. And it taps the ground right in front of the rubber, and then he accelerates on forward. Here's Cesar Gomez, who takes the ball 1-0. He actually does it twice, and it really does look like after he does it the first time, he's going to stumble and fall over the second time his foot touches the ground. 2-0. We'll get a better look at it right here and just watch that front right foot. It taps the turf twice and then accelerates forward before he plants on it at the end. Swing and a miss. And it's 2-1. But it has certainly worked for him in his career. A very accomplished high school pitcher in Arizona, and now on to pitch collegiately as well at the Division I level. And he's ahead in the count, or excuse me, the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Two and two with 2 outs. Drew Castellanos, Alec Arkerman, and Adam Paniagua, the 3 that will be due up for Boulder in the top of the 9th inning. And we're about to see him because Brown just recorded his 2nd strikeout of the inning. BJ's go in order. We go to the 9th. Boulder will need 4 to tie and 5 to take the lead at the 90th NBC World Series powered by Evergy.
Bougie. I'm like $7 bougie.
The all-new $7 deal lovers menu at Pizza Hut. Choose your $7 faves 7 days a week.
Because it's only a deal if you love it.
No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Have you ever needed to stop or change the way you do something you love because of aches, pains, or injury? The physical therapists at Select Physical Therapy are here to get you back to work, life, and your favorite activities. Most importantly, your goals are their goals. Their movement experts will listen and develop an individualized treatment plan so you can heal. Begin care faster by requesting an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy at Select Physical Therapy.
Well, the nice thing about being young at a game like this, there's no school tomorrow for those guys, as we are about 4 minutes away from midnight, but the kiddos are catching some midnight baseball here tonight at the 90th NBC World Series. As we are ready for play now, as the Boulder Collegians need 4 to tie, 5 to take the lead. Otherwise, it's the Liberal BJs that move on to the elimination part of the tournament, and Boulder's run will be over. So Drew Castellanos will lead it off. Castellanos is facing Cage Ralston, who came on in the 8th inning and struck out 2 of the 3 batters he's faced. And now a slow bouncing ball out to short, fielded by Robert Orr, and a throw to first is just in the nick of time. So it's 4 up and 4 down for Boulder since since Ralston came on in relief. So a 6-3 putout, 1 away now for Alec Arkerman. In the meantime, the BJs may have found something with Cage Ralston. The pitch to Arkerman is a fastball that just missed outside. 1 ball and no strikes. The pitch. Inside edge, that's a strike, and it's now 1-1. Alec Arkerman has reached base once tonight, but that was in the 4th inning via an error, so he is hitless tonight, 0 for 4. And he swings and misses there, and he's down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. Oh, did he take a lot off there? Strike 3, and down goes Arkerman. And once again, his out pitch is the slow changeup that just floats in at about 65 miles an hour. And another strikeout for Cage Ralston. Boy, keep an eye on this guy, as he's got some nasty stuff. So now Boulder is down to their final out. And there's another strike, this one to Adam Paniagua. Cage Ralston had 12 appearances this past season at Butler College, as Ralston sends one in that Paniagua fouls back, and now Boulder is down to their final strike. 13 2/3 innings and a 10.5 ERA for Ralston. But boy, he looks untouchable with this stuff tonight. Boulder down to their final strike, and now Ralston calls time. So Ralston ready through the windup and the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and that is the ball game. The Liberal BJs have advanced to the elimination round of this tournament after a 13-9 win tonight at Eck Stadium. For Liberal, 13 runs, 11 hits, and 3 errors. For Boulder, 9 runs on 9 hits. They also had an error. A wild 4th inning where each team scored 7 times. But then after that, Liberal with single runs in the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings, while they pretty much shut the door on Boulder, except for a 2-run 6th. It was Liberal in command after the 7-run 4th inning they gave up. So congratulations to the BJs, a historic team and program in this tournament, and they will be in the elimination round again, which all starts tomorrow. Again, Liberal 13 and Boulder 9. Thanks for joining us. My name is Steve Strain. So long. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Wichita at the 90th NBC World Series powered by Evergy. So long, everybody.